What is Ford playing at? The Capri has been re-released. Now that fastback coupe was built between 1968 and 1986, but as from today, the 10th of July 2024, it has been re-released, going under the slogan of "The Legend is Back." Now let's skip back a little bit, because that's not the Ford Capri we all know and love. Since the last one rolled off the production line in 1986, we haven't seen a new one since. Now when these were produced, they came with plenty of different engine options, including the Essex V6, Cologne V6, 2-litre Pinto, just to name a few. They came in loads of different model variations, and nearly 2 million were produced when the Capri was in production. Now the Ford Capri's motto and sort of advertising campaign was always "the car you always promised yourself." Now there are plenty still hanging around in the UK, and people do cherish and look after them. There are some great examples that I see still going through the classic car auctions to this day. Since the last Ford Capri rolled off the production line in 1986, there hasn't been many talks about it coming back onto the UK roads. But it was a different vehicle, a concept car, which popped up at the Frankfurt Motor Show in 2003. Now this was called the Ford Visos, and this was a concept car. It was based on the Capri. It took inspiration from some of the Capri's design, but it was never turned into a production car. Now since 2003, there hasn't really been much talk about the rebirth of the Ford Capri until 2023, when there was a few sneaky photos captured of what might have been the Capri, but there was no confirmation from Ford themselves. Until very recently, when Ford released a reel on their social media platforms featuring Eric Cantona plugging in, or trying to plug in, a classic Ford Capri. Now this got people talking massively online. And that was then when Ford released the date for the Capri to be relaunched today, the 10th of July 2024. And I tell you what, this has just sent shockwaves throughout the automotive community. I've put quite a few social media posts up today, and there has been very mixed reviews, or I say mixed reviews, quite a lot on the negative side. But just before we jump into what people have been saying about the new Ford Capri, why don't we have a look and dive into it ourselves? So Ford described this to be a sports car soul in a practical SUV. So this is a coupe crossover, and here are some pictures. These are from the Ford UK website, and you can now actually purchase these from Ford. The starting price for a new Ford Capri is £42,000, and that's not with any of the added extras. I tried to spec one of these up earlier and I nearly got it up to £60,000. Now some of the spec on this is that it does 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.4 seconds. The electric range combined is 389 miles, which I don't think is too bad, although that is sort of, with the EV, you don't know how long that's going to last. Is that with the aircon on? Is that with the wipers on? Is that with all your ancillaries going? Well, you never know. But something else it does note at the bottom here is the fast charge time is 26 minutes. Now this certainly is an interesting bombshell for Ford to drop on the automotive world. Now this campaign has been led by Eric Cantona, the ex-Man United football star, and he has featured in their advertising campaign.
The legend is back. Did you see it? The greatest on electric. Looking good, no? But who is this man? Je suis Capri.
It's just, it's a crazy one this is. The Ford Capri being re-released in 2024, it's certainly divided a lot of opinions. Now, as opinions go, I have released a poll on Instagram saying rate or hate the new Ford Capri. And it's only been out a couple of hours and I've already had 200 votes for hate, which is shocking and really speaks volumes. There's only about I think 7 or 8 people that voted that they rate the new Ford Capri, and I have looked online on different posts and there's just been so many negative comments about the new Ford Capri EV. Now, Ford have done something quite similar to this before when they re-released the Ford Puma. Now, this was a quality car back in the day, especially the 1.7 Pumas and even the Puma Racing editions. They were very nice indeed. But they did re-release the Puma just like they've done with the Capri. It's all about the name. Now, the Puma didn't get as much stick. I think it was quite strange for Ford to go with re-releasing the Puma, but because it was a hybrid, I don't think it got as much stick as the Capri, the full electric model. Now, as Ford progress away from the internal combustion engines and focus more on new electric vehicles, I can't help but think they are a little bit soulless. They name this as the sports car soul in a practical SUV, but it's missing that engine, I personally believe. Now, if you just look, for example, at these two cars, the new Ford Capri next to the Ford Mustang Mach-E, they look pretty similar. I'm not going to lie, from the off, that side view is so similar. I'm sure they got different specs and that, but yeah, I just think that they just look so similar. Like, what's so different about them? They're so uninspiring driving an electric car. So I guess it all filters down to this one question. Why have Ford re-released the Capri? Now, in 2024, I'm going to personally say that the EV market is quite uninspiring. As I say, everyone wants a SUV or a crossover. They're not really bothered about the spec or anything. They just want to be good for the planet, I guess. Bringing the Ford Capri name back is a massive talking point. There has been just some outrageous comments online. People saying, what, that's not a Ford Capri? I can't believe they brought the Ford Capri back. And I think this is the main gist of it. Now, this is a great marketing tactic from Ford because they know people would be outraged by this. How can you bring back the Ford Capri and it turn out to be electric? But whether that outrage turns into actual sales is another thing. Now, I have said that the new EVs are very uninspiring, and I truly do believe that. And I've just got the Ford website up on my phone and I'm looking at the colour ranges. Now, they are just boring. You've got frozen white, you've got agate black, magnetic grey it looks like, blew my mind, you've got rapid red and vivid yellow. Now, this is advertised as a orangey sort of colour. I'm not sure whether that is vivid yellow. I don't believe that is, but it doesn't seem like you can choose the orange colour just yet. But I just think, I don't know, apart from the orange colour, none of them stand out. There's nothing different about this car than other EVs that are being brought onto the market. And yeah, it just all seems so rushed to force everyone over to EV. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I'm going to put it out there, I am not a fan of this. But if Ford, you're watching this and you want to try and convert me, when these start popping up at the end of 2024, I'd love to test drive one of these, check it out, and then I can sort of definitely tell you guys whether I rate or hate the new Ford Capri. But anyway, that was just my personal take on the new Ford Capri. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. Since the last one rolled off the production line in 1986, there's been no new Ford Capris, but towards the end of this year, you will start to see them on the UK roads, and yeah, it's certainly a bit of a shock to the system. Anyway, please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to continue hearing your guys' opinions on the Ford Capri and what you think about the name, the actual car itself, and yeah, just have a little discussion in the comment section below. I'll try to reply to as many of you as I can. Anyway, that's it from me. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Ford don't re-release the Sierra or Granada. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, and if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel to see more. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later.